And so we are back again with the part five of this video series. I know we have been doing this for quite a while now, so most likely I can tell you that we are almost at the end part, right? Today we're going to be looking at something, the key topic within um, Dynamics 365 feed service or the agreement. So like the word or the name sounds, agreement is just like a contract that you've got. Remember we said big service is that platform that gives you the capability to schedule like a routine task, to schedule like a service, a feed service operation or a feed service task with a customer and the customer location that a technician will go and fulfill that particular work order. So the agreement is basically like a contract that binds between the servicing company and the customer, like a terms and conditions and things like that. Things like how often or how often will these agreements be generated or the work orders be generated? How often will the technician be going to the location? Will it be a routine maintenance? Will it be a bi-weekly? Once monthly, will it be on a specific day? Let's say every on the 30th of the month or every on the last day of the month. We want you to send an engineer to our location to service this equipment or to perform this job. We want you to send a doctor to this hospital who is a specialist in, I don't know, heart surgery, things like that. You can use an agreement to do. Without wasting much time, let's just get into it and have a look at it. So here we are back into the Dynamics 365 environment. We're just going to the agreement sections, basically, just to go straight there. And we can create an agreement here. So there's an agreement number that is auto-generated. You can see it is locked field. You can specify these based on the configurations to refer so that it gives you what you uh, want to see. The service will be the location of the customer. So this is where the work is going to be done and things like that. And we have a price list which we already determined. So we want to set the start location of the contract. What day will the contract become, kick off? Let's say the contract kicks off today, and when will it end? Let's say it ends on Friday. So it's a 4-day contract. You can set an amount that we want to charge for that, you know, things, things like that. Uh, yeah, there's no substatus. So once that is done, let's just save it. So the agreement has been created, you know, it gives us the starting point of that piece of agreement and how CRM fit service is going to be able to do this job. Right at the right hand side, you can see the booking setup, the invoice setup. Basically, what this is talking about is we want to specify how often the bookings be generated. Remember, the booking is the document that actually specifies the technician that is coming to do that job, the start time, the end time, the promise time, things like that. Um, Duration of that particular job. So if you have an agreement that the technician should always come at this day of the month, at this particular time, and this piece of service that the technician is coming to do would be for 30 minutes because we have already specified how much we're going to pay for that work. Things like this, we can set up a booking setup that will do that. The same type of invoice, what will be the invoice recurrence, the invoice schedule, things like that, we can always do. So we will just proceed by taking this to, uh, yeah, another step. So just move on. So it's asking us to create a booking setup. So we'll create a booking setup, agreement booking setup. So we'll just say test booking setup. So we have that. I'll put the description. Auto generate work order. Yeah, if you want to, yes. Work order type. We want to be a routine maintenance. how often do you want it to generate work orders? How many days in advance? Say, let's say the job is going to be performed on the 30th. So do we want it to generate the work order um, on the 15th? So like in 5 days in advance, we can specify the priority, what should be the priority, what to be high. You can put a summary and things like that. Auto generate booking, yes. What would be the duration? Let's say 45 minutes. Who should be the resource? I set myself. What should be the start time? You know, I don't know what it is to be fair at the moment. Um, let's just look at something. So we can just set the time. Um, I think that's set for 6:30. Um, put it here, put it here. That's what we wanted to start. Yeah, we don't want to touch anything here. Uh, product, would there be anything with product? No, we can just set that value. So we have set the booking status, the booking settings of the booking. So once that is done, we could go ahead and could probably want to add a service, a product. Let's just add a product and see. Remember our very familiar product, the filter this time around. Let me just see what the price talks about. Okay, additional details should give us things. Yeah, it's not the price. It's not the price list anymore. So fortunately, yeah, let's just link it quickly. Just get this. Um, yeah, just send products. We need two quantities of these. So you have set a product, you can set a service, whatever you want to do. Remember, we did the same previously with the work order. So this is an agreement. So the next step would be to activate this agreement. So to activate that is asking for an invoice setup. So we could just test invoice and invoice products. We can just save it. We can invoice a product. Filter that is an amount, quantity, good, save and close. And then it's going to need that. So good. So our agreement has been set up. This is the typical scenario stages of setting up an agreement um, between a customer and a company, the servicing company using Dynamics 365 Fleet Service. Uh, a lot of things that you can configure, right? We didn't go into much of those details, but you can see here that we have our booking setup. We've got our invoice setup, and this shows you how they work. If we go into for example, the booking setup, you will see the details of that booking. Preferred start time would be this, you know, and priority and things like that. we could even go into the booking state, right? A very, very important feature. Um, if that is ideally, so even though this agreement is active, agreement booking state and work order will not be generated until the recurrence has been defined. So we can define booking recurrence every day, want to be every day, end by the 23rd and a day, blah, blah, blah. So we can just set that. So we have set the recurrence to the fair. Okay. So we have set the bookings, agreement booking recurrence. So let's just be sure that it is generated actually. Mhm. Yeah, it has not generated. Um, so yeah, probably might take a while to do this. So, but that's it. So the bookings recurrence just tells you uh, the invoice date has not been settled. So let's do the same thing, invoice recurrence, and just look at this and save it. Okay. I just hope the timing in the US, I don't know what the time in the US is at the moment because I've set that to generate at 6 30 p.m. Uh, so might not be might not be the best, as well. The time in the US is currently 6:31, which means this is even San Diego. So which means that it might have already passed the time to be fair for the agreement booking to generate. But you get the idea, the gist of what we want this to run, right? Once you get this configuration correct, every other thing will fall in place once it meets that time, especially the generation, days until generation field. It's a very important field uh, that's really determines how things are triggered to it fits in the space. So let's just look at that quickly once again. If this even got aha, so you can see the bookings date was it was set just on time at 6:30. So this was generated. But let me see what happened to the invoice one. I hope the invoice setup was able to make it. Well, I think I might have missed that. Oh, so the invoice date is generated, and you can see the status are all scheduled. Basically, it's waiting for that time to fire off, you know. Um, yeah, just quickly back a little bit. Ideally, what's supposed to happen is that it's supposed to fulfill this order, generate the work order, generate the booking, schedule myself as the resource, and that gets um, done. So you can see here, um, these are the bookings. So there's a booking generated for today at 6:30 p.m. So if I open that booking, you can see the status of the booking is active. So if it runs, it's tell you processed. And once it fails, it tells you cancelled. So basically, this is how the agreement, feature within CRM works. There are a lot of things you can do with the agreement. I'm not too sure at the moment, but I think you can do something around entitlement, linking entitlement to your agreement. So for example, if you have an agreement with a customer that your company will be servicing their, for example, the equipment. I keep using that because it's always easy and relatable. Uh, you could have an entitlement based on the level of patronage or level of the customer. Depends. You can have a premium customer. So if you have a customer who purchased that equipment for 20 million pounds from you, and you have another customer who purchased equipment for like a 100,000 pounds, there might be a little bit of depends. Some company can say, oh, this is a premium customer, or this is a good customer. So this person is entitled to this and that, let's say free, one free monthly check, you know, so things like that. So you could always do. So at the moment, the booking has not been generated, but the booking data there. Most likely, it might generate at this time. We don't know, but I think we have missed that window, so it is just going to be stuck there. But yeah, this is the process.